Hello friends, I'm Brian, and this is Gizmo Board Games. Today I am reviewing The Last Lighthouse, a solo game from ButtonShy Games designed by Scott Almes. He's the designer of numerous games such as Beer and Bread, many of the Tiny Epic games, and one of my favorite solo ButtonShy games, Food Chain Island. Before I get into this review, I do want to mention that this is a review copy that I was sent from ButtonShy Games, so take that information with it as you will. However, I do all my reviews in the same way, and that will be true of this game and others that I get review copies or whether I purchase them myself. Before I get into my patented Gizmo review rating scale, I want to give a brief overview of the gameplay. I am just reviewing the base game of this game, although there are a couple expansions that are available soon. This game did go to Kickstarter and is shipping currently as I do this review, and I believe it's available on the website any day now. So Last Lighthouse is an 18-card game from ButtonShy. It's solo only. It is a tower defense game. You'll be taking actions to keep your lighthouse lit while the game is going underway and try to keep it that way until the end of the game. Meanwhile, nightmares will be working to destroy it. To play, you will first choose one of 4 difficulty levels ranging from easy to expert. That'll dictate the starting setup of the sea, which is the area to the right of the lighthouse that acts as the field of play, as you can kind of see laid out here in front of me. 4 dual-purpose cards will be set as either a nightmare or as a trap. You will then draw a hand of 4 cards to utilize as traps during your turn. A round consists of the following 5 phases. You will get up to 2 actions in which to take. The first action you can take is to play a card as a trap from your hand into anywhere in the sea, activating any when-placed abilities. Each trap has a range for damage and 1 to 3 points of health, so strategic placement is important. The second action you can take is to attack a nightmare with traps that are already placed in the sea. Each trap will inflict 1 damage point up to its maximum range. Nightmares also have 1 to 3 health, so it may require multiple traps being in range in order to defeat that nightmare. Once defeated, you will activate any when defeated activation and resolve that. Finally, place that now defeated nightmare into your hand as a new trap. Those are the 2 actions a player will take on any round. After phase 1 is complete, phase 2 is then to take a new nightmare from the deck and place it into the far right of the sea, once again activating any when-placed effects. Phase 3 will then be the nightmares attacking. First, check to see if any nightmares are in range of the lighthouse. Every nightmare that is in range of the lighthouse will inflict 1 damage onto the lighthouse. If there are no nightmares in range of the lighthouse, then check each trap from the right, or from the closest to the lighthouse, moving right. And if any are defeated, then you'll activate any when defeated effects and just take that trap out of the game for good. And that'll end the nightmares attack phase. Phase 4 sees the tides rise. That means the card closest to the lighthouse is either going to be eliminated from the game if it's a trap, or move to the far right if it is a nightmare card. Phase 5, you then check to see if there are 4 nightmares in a row. If so, you will take 1 more damage at the lighthouse, and then you will check for endgame condition. If, at this point, your lighthouse is still standing and there are no cards left in the draw pile, you win. Otherwise, you will play another round. If at any point your lighthouse loses all its health points, you lose. And that's how you play the Last Lighthouse. Let's get into my thoughts. So is the game any good? Well, much like many of the ButtonShy and Scott Almes solo games, this is a nice puzzle that you can take with you almost anywhere and easily play in a short amount of time and on a limited space. It offers a nice, quick, thinky puzzle for you to figure out, and the dual action cards and different triggering effects give you a lot of thought pieces to think about as you play. The varied user setup can help you find your best complexity level for your gameplay, and there's a good amount of game in small packages, with the expansions offering even more variety. What do I think about the ingredients? Well, the art by Anastasia, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name, I do apologize, really captures the dark dread the game is looking for. And with the only color coming out of the lighthouse and on the back sides of the cards, it really does give you that gloomy feeling you would expect from the theme. I do wish there was a little more color variety just to change it up a little bit, but I understand that that's how it fits into the essence of the theme. So it is understandable that they are as kind of dark and gloomy as they are, but it is a little bit hard to kind of make out some of the art because of the dark inky blotchiness. As for the cards, they're standard cards that you see in every ButtonShy game. They'll last for quite a while, hold up through multiple plays, and if you're used to ButtonShy, you know the quality we're talking about, but eventually they probably will wear down. Nothing super spectacular about them, but a good solid card stock. And I always appreciate a multi-use card, having these dual-sided cards offering different ways of use, whether it's a trap or a horror, or I should say a nightmare in this case. It really does deliver, much like many of the ButtonShy games, because they do got to pack a lot into an 18-card deck. Z, is the game easy to play? Yes, it's easy to play with, like I said, you take two actions. You're going to place traps or attack with them. So the general ease of play is there. However, there is a complexity in managing your actions and using that limited action space to make the best use of cards at play. Keeping track of the varied activation abilities could really help or hurt you, depending on how they come out and the timing of them. So you really got to keep those in mind as you're going along as well. So I think there's a good amount of complexity in what is really a simple gameplay style. Do I want more of it? Well, the fact that there are 4 different setups offers that variety of play. It gives you a chance to work through learning the game and really figuring out where you're best getting challenged with it once you get used to how you play it. I will say that the base game, because there's only 16 action cards, could get to the point where you're running out or figuring out the puzzle of the game. And so that point, it could get samey. I haven't reached that point, but I could see it becoming a thing. Luckily, there are 2 expansions that you can add, and those will add some more complexity. This is probably a game I wouldn't want to marathon, but along with some of the other similar games in this line of game, I could take it with me at any time and kill some time for a little bit and then play the next one and maybe put this away for a couple months and get it out and get some enjoyment out of it once again. Is it original? It's a small deck tower defense solo game. I don't know how many of those exist, but tower defense games is nothing new. Small deck solo games is nothing new. Done numerous times. I got a bunch of them in ButtonShy bag behind me right there. So I don't think there's a lot of originality in this per se, but it does add another different game with a different theme to that catalog. And it doesn't take up that much space in the game room, so it's worth getting if you're at all interested, just because it is fun. It will give you that nice solo little puzzle to figure out in a small package. With that, let's get into my final thoughts. The Last Lighthouse is not my favorite solo game in the ButtonShy lineup, or even by Scott Alms. I'd probably go with Food Chain Island to fit both those bills. But it's also not my least favorite game either, such as Unsurmountable, Ugly Griffin Inn, or also ButtonShy Games, designed by Scott Alms, that I enjoy less than this one. I've enjoyed figuring out the puzzle of this one as I've been playing it, and I found my best difficulty right now is the hard mode, so I've still got something to work for to get into that expert mode of play. Right now I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 gizmos. That puts it slightly above average, and I'll definitely be adding this one to my travel rotation to get more enjoyment out of it and put it in the bag, take it along with me, and it'll be a fun play. So there you are. That's my review of The Last Lighthouse, a ButtonShy game designed by Scott Alms. Now, before I go, I do want to mention unsolicited. I'm not getting paid to mention this, or I don't even think ButtonShy cares whether or not I mention it. But if you're in the Denver area next month, and right now being May of 2024, I'm talking about June of 2024, ButtonShy is having a one-day convention. I'll be there checking out some of their games, maybe picking up a couple more that I don't have, meeting other fans, and perhaps if you're in the area and you check it out, we'll run into each other there. Again, they didn't ask me to do this, but check it out. Go to their site, see if tickets are still available. I'm not sure. I know it was limited, and I haven't checked since I got my ticket. But if you want more information about this game or about potentially coming to the Denver ButtonShy Con this year at the end of June, go check out their site, buttonshy.com. At least I believe that's what it is. I'll put the actual link below. And if you're watching this in the future, this is the third year they've done a con in different cities around America. So check out where the con might be, whatever year you're watching this, and see if you can attend that one. All right, so let me thank you for joining me for this ButtonShy review. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe below if you haven't already. That way you can come back and check out some more of my reviews, some top 10s, or just general board game chatter that I deliver. Be sure to leave a comment below on your thoughts of The Last Lighthouse if you've played that. And let me know if you've played the expansions, whether or not they're worth me trying to check out to add to this one. Thank you for your time. Bye.